Chapter 610. The discussion behind them continued. Xian Yun had already walked out. The snow outside was getting heavier. White snow covered the ground. There was a white world everywhere. The pure color covered all the filth in the world, making this world look cold and clean. Even though she walked out, the sounds of discussion in the tea house still entered Jian Yun's ears. Then let me ask you all. If you all had such a beautiful wife, would you let her be humiliated and scolded by others, and then kick her to find a girl younger and prettier than her? How is that possible? Unless my head is stuck in the door. That's right. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful just by looking at it. It's really pleasing to the eye. If I had such a beautiful wife, I wouldn't be able to bear to let her shed a single tear. But you guys don't have a chance anymore. That lady just now was obviously pregnant. Her belly is so big. She already has a wife. I just don't know which man is so lucky. It's really enviable. Scum. Scum who? Scumbag. Scumbag ho. Wu Wenjing was so angry that she humped. She got some snow from the scenery tree next to the road and made a bang on Luo Yanyan's face. Silly Wunya. What are you crazy about? Luo Yanyan was shivering from the ice, and then she wiped her face and gnashed her teeth in anger. I am so angry. Ah. Wenjing rubbed her hair and shouted, Yan Yan, let me rub it a few times. Are you crazy? Let's go. Hey, Jianyun, why aren't you wearing a hat or an umbrella? Su Luo's hair will melt and she will catch a cold. Luo Yanyan turned her head and saw that Jian Yun had already walked a few steps. When she went out, she did not wear a hat. This time, she even put away the umbrella and walked in the snow just like that. Luo Yanyan was like an old mother. She quickly propped up the umbrella for Jian Yun and kept muttering, I don't feel any pain if you catch a cold. But it is freezing, my baby. I will not do as you say. As Luo Yanyan spoke, she lowered her head and moved closer to Jian Yun's stomach with a gentle expression. Little darling, listen to me. Your mother is disobedient now, and she did not open an umbrella when it snows. What if she caught a cold? She is so disobedient. Can you kick her? Hey, Luo Yanyan, you are trying to teach her a lesson. How can she be a godmother like you? Wenjing curled her lips and said with a face full of righteousness. Then she moved closer to Jian Yun's stomach and said with a smile, Come, little obedient. Listen to what your godmother said. If you want to kick her twice. Let's see if your mother still dares to be so disobedient next time. You two are childish. Jian Yun could not help but roll her eyes. She was just about to say how childish these two were to be terrifying when she suddenly cried out in shock. What's wrong? What's wrong? Wu Wenjing and Luo Yanyan saw Jian Yun's expression change and thought that there was something wrong with her. Frightened, they quickly supported her like two guardians on the left and right. Do you want to go to the hospital? It's okay. Jian Yun waved her hand and pretended to be angry as she lightly patted her stomach. Who is your mother? She actually kicked me. Yeah, she even kicked me. Ha ha ha. Wen Wenjing and Luo Yanyan heard this and could not help but laugh. I told you to be disobedient. Now there is a little darling who cares about you. Do the two of you not need to go to work? Xian Yun was very helpless towards this little fellow in her stomach. He was already in charge even before he came out. What would happen when he grew up in the future? Wenjing looked at the time. It's only 7:30 and it's still early. Furthermore, I have to run to a customer this morning. I cannot go to the company. Yanyan, what about you? Luo Yanyan smiled. I don't have class in the morning. Then let's go for a walk. It's the first snow today. It's so beautiful. Let's go take pictures. When the mall opens, we will go for a walk and stock up on the goods for little obedient. Wenjing said happily. Xian Yun, what about you? How is the school? Luo Yanyan turned her head and asked Jian Yun. I saw a piece of land earlier. The location was good, but it was too expensive. Our budget is not enough, so Monica and I discussed and decided to rent a house first. After the school is set up, we will slowly think of ways to build our own school. When Jian Yun talked about this matter, the gloominess that she had accumulated in the tea house slowly dissipated, and her eyes lit up. Sigh, this Monica is also unclear about people. Even such a powerful woman was deceived by men. Wenjing could not help but sigh. Men do not have good things. Luo Yanyan poked Wenjing, and Wu Wenjing was unhappy. Yanyan, why are you twisting me? I am not wrong. Originally it is. Look at us three sisters. We are all taken by men. You still say. Luo Yanyan stared at Wu Wenjing and used her eyes to signal her to look at Jian Yun. Only then did Wu Wenjing realize that she had said something wrong. She quickly covered her mouth and apologized to Jian Yun. Jian Yun, I'm sorry. Why do you have to say I'm sorry? Jian Yun smiled, but there was no haze in her beautiful and lively eyes. She reached out and caught a snowflake. She focused on the snowflake melting in her palm. Look at how beautiful these snowflakes are when they are floating in the sky. But when they fall, they melt very quickly. They are trampled and turned into sewage. So there is never absolute in this world. There is beauty. There is ugliness. There is cleanliness. There is filth. There is good and there is bad. There are many bad men, but there are also many good men. Jian Yun turned her head to look at her two best friends. Seeing the two of them looking at her in a daze, she could not help but smile. Why are you looking at me like that? Jian Yun, what you said makes sense. We are actually speechless. Wenjing touched her chin. Looks like you really have thought it through. There are millions of good men in the world. Why do you have to be alone with a scumbag? Ha! Jian Yun only laughed when she heard that. She stretched out her hand to receive another snowflake and looked down. The smile on her face did not change, but her eyes that were covered by long eyelashes were filled with loneliness like the night sky. Did she think it through? No. How could she have thought it through? Such deep love, such deep affection, how could it be broken just like that? It had been more than 4 months since she came back from the capital. She changed her phone number and took all her things from the two houses. She did not go online or read the news. It seemed that she had cut off all contact with that person in the past, but only Jian Yun knew how much pain her heart hurt when she made such a decision. She deliberately did not think about it. She did a lot of things every day to make herself busy. However, Hu Liancheng's face always appeared in her dreams. He looked so haggard and his eyes were painful. It was like the last time she saw him. He held her arm and begged her not to leave him. No, she could not think about him anymore. Since she had made up her mind, she could not regret it. At least, she could not regret it. She still had the most precious treasure with her. Jian Yun reached out her hand to touch her bulging abdomen and closed her eyes forcefully to dispel the shadow in her mind. When she raised her head again, her beautiful face had already regained its calm. It was so calm that even Wu Wenjing and Luo Yanyan, who stood beside her, did not notice just what kind of tumultuous ups and downs Jian Yun had experienced just now. Let's go. There's a little too much to eat. Let's take a walk to digest food. Jian Yun smiled and said. She looked at Wu Wenjing and Luo Yanyan and could not help but sigh in her heart. In a short half a year, they actually experienced such a complicated fate. 2 months ago, Luo Yanyan and Qin agreed to divorce. Luo Yanyan left her house clean and did not want anything. On the day she came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Qin cried like a child. Luo Yanyan's character had also changed. After Luo Cheng resigned from the Mings, he went to open the shop again. In the end, the shop closed after a few months. He owed a fart and a share of the debt. He came to Luo Yanyan to vouch for the loan. Luo Yanyan refused immediately and thus offended Luo Cheng and Zhang Xiaojing. Luo Cheng quarreled with Mrs. Luo at home. Mrs. Luo came to Luo Yanyan again and cried with tears and snot. She wanted Luo Yanyan to help Luo Cheng for the sake of brother and sister. This time Luo Yanyan did not soften her heart. She said that she did not have the ability. If Mrs. Luo forced her again, she would cut off ties with the Luo family. In the end, Luo Yanyan naturally did not sever her relationship with the Luo family. But she was basically like a passerby and almost did not interact with each other. Luo Cheng still did not let Mrs. Luo see Luo Yanyan. Luo Yanyan basically had a cold heart towards this family. However, although this result made Luo Yanyan, who valued familial love, sad, it was better than being exploited like an ATM. Luo Yanyan had work and ability. Slowly, her life got on the right track. Her personality also became as cheerful as before, at least on the surface. As for Wu Wenjing, she went back to the Mings to work after finishing Xiao Yuaz. Old Master Ming basically did not care about anything, and stayed at home to bask in the sun every day. The Mings was now the Ming family's second in command. Although his ability was not enough, he was still conscientious. After 2 major layoffs, he could basically maintain it. It was unknown where Ming Liguan had taken the wrong medicine. He had been expressing goodwill to Jian Yun for the past few months. He even promoted Wu Wenjing to the deputy manager of the marketing department. Not only did he double his salary, but he also had a lot of power. Wenjing basically cut off contact with that classmate of hers. That man did not know whether he had a conscience or not. Later on, he returned some money to Wu Wenjing, and with Jian Yun's help, Wu Wenjing had paid off the loan. Her originally restless heart had settled down. Now, her mind was full of work, and she did not want to think about those messy matters of love anymore. It seemed that the three of them seemed to have returned to their original calm state. Jian Yun really liked life now. Imperial, the headquarters of the Cloud Group. Shen King had been standing in front of the CEO's office for 3 minutes. The big boss had suddenly summoned him, the deputy manager of the Human Resources Department, but he didn't say anything, which made him very frightened. People came and went outside the office. They all looked at him with sympathy, as if he was going to be killed. Everyone knew that the big boss had been in a bad mood for the past few days. No, he had never been in a good mood. Walking on the ice mountain these days, all the people who were summoned were scolded badly. The group headquarters was always under pressure. Everyone was trembling in fear, afraid that they might accidentally anger the big boss. Shen King knocked on the door nervously and asked carefully, "President Hu, are you looking for me?" "Come in." A cold voice came from inside. Shen King pushed the door open and went in. She saw Hu Liancheng sitting behind the desk, staring at something on the computer screen. His face was gloomy. In Shen King's eyes, it was calm before the storm. Shen King's legs started to tremble. He thought he had made a serious mistake and was going to be killed by the big boss. At this moment, he was like a guillotine. Hu Liancheng looked up at Shen King's ashen face, but he did not say anything. He only signaled Shen King to look at the tablet on the table. "Take a look." Shen King did not dare to look. Her hands trembled, and her legs went weak. She did not care and cried first, "President Hu, I have my parents. My wife just gave birth to a second child. I know that I am a little lazy at work. I am late twice this month. I do not dare to do it again. Please don't fire me." Woo woo. Shen King cried for a long time, but there was no response from the other side. He narrowed his eyes and saw that Hu Liancheng was staring at him with a puzzled expression. His heart trembled. Could it be that the big boss wasn't here to cause trouble for him? At this moment, he caught a glimpse of the photo on the tablet, out of the corner of his eye, and his eyebrows jumped. "President Hu, this is..." Shen King's face was full of question marks. Hu Liancheng had called him so urgently to see a pregnant woman? She was also a woman whose face was blocked by mosaic. Look at her belly. Hu Liancheng drummed his fingers on the table and frowned. He seemed to be in a dilemma. She looks like she is pregnant for a few months. Huh? It turned out that the big boss was asking him about this. Shen King's heart relaxed. She quickly wiped the cold sweat off her head. He looked at the woman in the photo and said resolutely, "At most 4 months. Are you sure?" Hu Liancheng's handsome face darkened. I can confirm that my wife's belly was this big when she was 4 months pregnant." Shen King shrank her head and felt a cold air blowing. In order to prove that what she said was true, he quickly took out his phone and opened the album. He found the photo and showed it to Hu Liancheng. Then he explained it to Hu Liancheng. "Pregnant to 6 or 7 months or so, pregnant women will have edema. My wife's stomach was bigger than this lady's. Her hands and feet were so swollen that she couldn't even put on her shoes. Look, this lady's forelimbs are so slim, but her belly is bigger. She definitely won't be more than 5 months pregnant. Get out!" Before Shen King could finish her sentence, she heard Hu Liancheng berating her. His face was as cold as ice, and his eyes were filled with anger. He was so scared that he did not dare to fart. He quickly ran away with his tail between his legs. Cheng Mu's knocked on the door. As soon as he entered the CEO's office, he was choked by the strong smell of smoke and coughed. "Hey, fourth brother, how many cigarettes did you smoke? If you continue to smoke like this, I'll put a smoke alarm on you. From now on, I'll spray your water whenever you smoke." Hu Liancheng ignored Cheng Mu's. He was still standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, smoking a lot. As soon as Cheng Mu's walked over, he caught a glimpse of the girl smiling brightly on the computer screen. The photo was probably taken secretly. The girl did not look at the camera. She was wearing an autumn green coat. Her eyes were slightly slanted. No one knew who she was looking at, but she was smiling happily. Subconsciously, Cheng Mu's eyes fell on the girl's bulging abdomen. His pupils suddenly shrank. When Cheng Mu's looked at Hu Liancheng again, he could not help but sigh. "Since you think so of her, why don't you look for her?" Hu Liancheng stopped smoking when he heard that. He immediately spat out a big mouthful of smoke. His hand that was holding the cigarette dropped down. Cheng Mu's saw that his hand was shaking. Cheng Mu's shook his head. "Fourth brother, what are you afraid of? Do you really want to see Sister Jian being chased away by other men?" The cigarette in Hu Liancheng's hand burned to the end and burned his hand. Only then did he remember to put it out in the ashtray. How many months does she look like she's been pregnant? Hu Liancheng sat down and stared at the screen, trying hard to calm himself down. 4 or 5 months? 5 or 6 months? 6 or 7 months? Cheng Mu's scratched his head. He looked troubled. Fourth brother, you asked this question. It's hard for me. I don't have any experience. I only asked about having a child. Shen King said it would take at most 4 months. Hu Liancheng's expression was ugly. His eyes seemed to be filled with blood, and there was a hint of killing intent in them. Cheng Mu's eyelids twitched. 4 months ago was when Jian Yun left. If she was only 4 months pregnant, then this child could not be Hu Liancheng's. Fourth brother, why don't we find someone else to take a look? Cheng Mu's asked carefully. He was a little nervous. If the child really was not Hu Liancheng's, then he would not be able to bear it. That Jian Yun is the one who made him green. No, it wasn't green either. They had already divorced at that time. But no matter what, even if Jian Yun was really pregnant after leaving Hu Liancheng, Hu Liancheng would definitely go crazy. If he went crazy, they would be in trouble. No, he had to confirm it. How could Hu Liancheng still hear Cheng Mu's voice? His mind was filled with the cruel fact that Jian Yun fell in love with another man and got pregnant for another man. Look. Seeing that Hu Liancheng's expression was not right, Cheng Mu's quickly found an excuse to run away. There are still things to take care of in Hu's. Fourth brother, I'll go first. Qing City. Jian Yun and Monica had just signed the contract to rent the schoolhouse. When the other party found out that they were going to set up an art school, they even lowered the rent automatically. This price made Jian Yun and Monica very surprised. As expected, during this period of time, they would make the best use of their time to renovate and purchase furniture and equipment. They would be able to enroll students in March next year. Speaking of which, Jian Yun would think of setting up a school because of Monica. 4 months ago, Jian Yun came back from the imperial capital. She was exhausted. Although all the black threads about her on the internet had been deleted, there were also people who came forward to clarify the facts and apologize to her. However, the news that she and Hu Liancheng had already divorced spread like wildfire. People always like to step on the high and low. No one cared about Jian Yun and Hu Liancheng's reason for divorce. Everyone automatically imagined that she was hated by Hu Liancheng. She was hated by the wealthy class and wanted to give up her position for the new wife. That was why she was kicked away. There were also people who posted online to analyze why Cinderella's fairy tale would be destroyed, and she would be shot at all times. Jian Yun had also seen the post. It was forwarded to her by Wu Wenjing. The entire post was aimed at her in the open and in the dark. She said that she was a defeated grey lady and used all kinds of shady methods to get close to that noble young master. She also said that she was with that rich young master for money. However, the noble young master was only infatuated with her for a moment, and soon got tired of her. The person who posted the post even swore that the reason she agreed to divorce was because she got a sky-high hand money, including a house worth tens of millions in the center of the capital. With such a detailed understanding, it seemed that the person who posted the invitation was either the Liu family or the Ma family. However, Jian Yun did not care anymore. If Yu Wenjing and Luo Yanyan were not angry, Jian Yun would not even pay attention to the scolding of the person who posted the thread on the internet. This incident happened after Jian Yun and Hu Liancheng's divorce was exposed, but the thread quickly disappeared. The person who posted the thread was arrested for spreading rumors and slandering. Later on, there were no more posts or topics about Hu Liancheng's ex-wife on the internet. However, Jian Yun also lost her job because of this. Monica, who had always been smart and strong, was framed by her ex-husband and owed a high debt. She had no choice but to use the Tianlei school to pay the debt. In the end, the school went around and actually fell into the hands of Monica's ex-husband. Only then did Monica know that her most trusted husband already had a woman outside. That woman even gave birth to 2 sons for him. It was also the 2 of them who collaborated to frame her. But it was already too late for her to react at this time. Monica's ex-husband was a material person. It should have been someone who greeted him. So when Jian Yun was about to go to work, she was told that because her reputation was too bad and affected the school's reputation, she was fired. Jian Yun did not argue and calmly accepted all of this. Later, Monica came to her and asked if she wanted to set up a school. This was what happened after. Jian Yun, your phone rang. Just as Jian Yun was walking and thinking about the past, she suddenly heard Monica's reminder. Jian Yun took a look and found that it was an unfamiliar number. When she came back from the capital, she changed her phone number, Now, there were only a few people's numbers on her phone. She did not answer any of the unfamiliar numbers. This time, Jian Yun did not want to answer, but the phone kept ringing. Jian Yun thought about it and also saw that the caller ID showed that it was from King Hu. She still picked up. Hello? However, there was silence on the other side. Jian Yun probably made the wrong call. Just as she was about to hang up, the person on the other side spoke. Yun. The voice of the person who spoke was very old. She only called these 3 words and no longer spoke. There was a faint sobbing sound. However, when Jian Yun heard this voice, her entire body shook violently. Because in this world, only Granny Liao would call her that. But Jian Yun did not want to see Granny Liao, so she only hurriedly said, "You hit the wrong number." Finishing, Jian Yun quickly hung up the phone. Monica saw that Jian Yun's expression was not good, so she asked her, "Are you not feeling well? Do you want to go to the hospital?" "No need. Send me home." Jian Yun shook her head. "Okay," Monica replied and was about to drive when she suddenly stopped. Jian Yun saw that Monica did not move and also followed her line of sight. When she saw Jian Yun, she found an old woman standing not far behind her. She was looking at her with excitement. At this moment, Jian Yun's face instantly turned white, and her fingers were lightly trembling. She subconsciously turned around and wanted to leave, but Granny Liao had already walked over quickly with the help of the maid. "Yun, Grandma knows that you don't want to see me, but can you give me some time to talk to you?" Granny Liao's eyes were filled with tears, almost begging. Jian Yun's footsteps stopped. She lowered her head and only nodded after a long time. "It's cold outside. Let's find a place to sit down and chat, okay?" Granny Liao and Jian Yun spoke very carefully, as if they were afraid that she would leave when she was angry. Jian Yun asked Monica to wait for her in the car, while she and Granny Liao went to the coffee shop on the corner of the street. The heavy snow 3 days ago had basically melted, but the temperature was especially low after the snow melted. The heating in the coffee shop was very big, and Jian Yun took off her coat when she entered. 8 months of pregnancy was completely exposed in front of Granny Liao. Granny Liao's eyes did not leave her pregnant belly when she saw Jian Yun. Her face was full of excitement and excitement. "Yun, is it 7 months?" Granny Liao was an experienced person after all, and was not as blind as a man. She could tell at a glance that Jian Yun was about 7 or 8 months pregnant.